Yeah. So right now, let's go to know more about the common skills in the questions. Sometimes we test you for agreement between the subject and the verb. The problem between subject and verb, the verb is so easy to know because we already memorize the tenses. The problem with the subject, because the subject must be noun or pronoun. So we have some troubles about the pronouns. Is it male or female, singular, plural, definite or not definite? We have many tricks. For the noun is the same. It can be abstract noun, concrete noun, collective noun, proper noun. We need to know. So your job is to find the subject quickly and to check is it singular or plural. So we have some kinds of tricks, but we can know it easily. For example, we need to know what is the subject and verb in this sentence. Always ask yourself who or what did the action? Who or what worsened on holidays? So we must read. Pollution from cars in cities where people have long commutes worsen on hot days. So what worsen? The commutes, cities, cars, or what? The pollution. So the pollution here it is singular. So the verb must be in agreement. So it must be worsens. So as he mentioned here, it must be worse. How can I find the subject easily and quickly? Number one, you must delete the phrases and the clauses and the non-essential information. Number one, we have prepositional phrase from in cities, in, so preposition phrases. And then we have a clause. So I must delete these three. So now I found the subject pollution and the verb was. This is the second way to know the subject. So we have two ways to ask yourself who or what did the action. The first way. The second, to delete phrases, delete clauses, and then check what is left in the sentence. That is the point. I want to tell you here to master the preposition phrase. It's from the name, preposition, so the phrase starts with a preposition. But what is the end of the preposition? Is the end of the phrase. For example, if here find the preposition, so I expect a preposition phrase. So why I stop here? So why this is the beginning? Because this is a preposition. That is the end because you are going to start a new prepositional phrase. So here we have one, and here we have two. So that is preposition phrase again. And later we will study the phrases to know that here preposition phrase again, because two. So we have three prepositions. To find a subject and verb easily quickly, you must delete all the phrases. That means your subject, your verb, is not included in any phrase. Not included in any phrase. So I expect it must be here. We have some rules to say that your subject must be noun or pronoun. Yes or no? Yes. Now open is an adjective, delete. Now we have is verb. Now ask yourself, what is open? The degree or the program?
Program.
Degree program, it's like compound noun. So are we talking about the degree or the program? Or the program of degree? That means we're talking about the program. So your subject is program. Now ask yourself, is program singular or plural? It's not easy. It's not easy to know it is singular or plural because we have a lot of tricks. But generally in English, I know that program can be singular and the plural. So here it is singular. So it must be is. Let me try the second one. Let's find the phrases. Question reply is a method whereby. So whereby here we are going to start a clause. So whereby a first the computer sends a request and then for data and the second responds to the request. This is the clause. Now we found is the verb. What is the subject? Is the subject a method or the subject request reply? You have
Reply.
linked verb. Yeah, excuse me. Here, your verb is linking verb. And the linking verb means the information after it refers to the subject before it. So that is subject and that's complement, complete the meaning. Linking verb connects both of them. So this information refers to this information. That is a request reply. Now check is request reply or a message singular or plural. It's singular. So because he said so your verb must be singular because your subject is already singular. Understood?
Yes.
That is the point. Now we need to test here. Find the phrases in number 3.
Subject Saraswati remained verb.
Okay, but we need to find the phrases first. I need the phrases first. Here as a goddess,
Yes.
then from, and then through, and then of. So all of these phrases, your subject and verb is not included. So your subject verb must be. You know, remained, it's a past simple, so it's a verb, but what remains significant? We have only 3 words, and my subject must be noun, significant adjective, so it must be this one. That's why. And then remained, it's a Lincoln verb. So this information refers to the subject. If you don't know the word, you mention it as a goddess. That's why. So it's so easy to know it. But sometimes we have two clauses like that, comma and to refer to clauses. He subject, he subject, plus verb, and then incorporate verb. Yeah, we have two subject and two verbs because we have two clauses. It's simple. Feel it?
Yes.
Satisfied. For number 5, where is the subject and verb?
Um, ruins located. The ruins subject verb located verb.
So now let's find the phrases. Phrase, and then phrase, and then phrase, and then phrase. Phrase again. So what were converted? The ruins.
Ruin.
Located is past participle, not noun or pronoun. Is that easy point? Easy or hard?
Yes.
Yes. We have another common trap that the subject can be compound subject or inverted order. So let's find some common. Let's know more about it. What do you know about compound? We expect and or but as a conjunction. Yes or no?
Yes.
Let's see some of them. For example, its rising population, confined geography has impacted. So now I found the end. What has or have impacted? Is rising confined? No, my subject must be noun or pronoun. So your job is to delete them. So here, for example, I delete the adjective, and my subject must be noun, not conjunction or pronoun. Now, what has population and geography? Now ask yourself, are these nouns similar? Are these nouns referred to one thing? No, it's two different. So subject one, subject two. So we have plural subject. So it must be have, not has. So number one, I must find the subject first. And then check the verb. Sometimes in the test will give you the verb. But most common will give you the subject. Or we test you for the verb. We underline the verb. You will see some examples now. That is, how about the inverted order? The inverted order, sometimes you will find the subject after the verb. Like that preposition phrase, delete, delete, delete. We will find the verb and the subject. Same. Here again, infinitive phrase, delete, infinitive phrase, delete, preposition phrase, delete. So subject and then verb. And as you know, here and there it's adverb. The subject must be noun or pronoun. Delete. That's why. And we have a lot of common mistakes. Number one, here we have verb. What is the subject? Together. Phrase delete with delete, from delete, and about delete. Now, what have taught me the challenges? What helps here? Have, it's a plural. Your subject must be the same, plural. So it's not a challenge, singular, singular, singular. And already all of these phrases, so think and delete. That's it. Now we test here. Number two, where is the subject?
Margot.
So are you asking or answering?
Answer. Is Margot subject?
So it's the subject, but how did we know? Number one phrase, clause, relative clause, and then phrase, and then phrase. So who came? What came? So Margot. Again, released earliest in the year. So phrase, phrase. What are the wines which are made? So your subject must be noun. Here it's a past participle. Here it's adjective. Here it's a past participle. So the wines. So the wines are made from the wine, and the wines are released. Do you catch it?
Yes.
So always expect the subject after the verb. So that is the point. So all of these simple exercises you can answer it at home. And then we go to the verb. Sometimes we test you for the verb. We test you for
Is verb.
the verb. We'll test you for which is the subject of singular or plural. Sometimes we test you which tense exactly is past or present or future and why, like that. You know, the present perfect in English means action started in the past and is still happening. Or the action finished recently. The time of speaking now, perhaps 2 minutes ago, 1 year ago, 2 years ago, it depends on the action. That's why we call it perfect, means finished, the beginning finished. Present is still happening, or the effects of it still happening, or the action never stops, like scientific discoveries started in the past, but it's still happening. And as you remember, the past simple tense language where action is started and finished in the past. It does not happen now. So when I say they open the doors, I mean the action starts and finish in the past. Did you catch it? But when I say they have opened the door, they opened 2 minutes ago. The meaning is different. That means we still see them. They are still inside home. When I say she has received an honorary doctorate, so that this means perhaps she received it 2 months ago, 2 years ago. It's recently. So it could be. That's why. So simple difference as you know. How about the past perfect tense? Past perfect, as you have studied in language, means the first action before the second action if we narrated actions in the past. For example, for the sandwiches, we used the bread he had bought. So he had bought first, and then we used it. So we say that we have two actions in the past. You have the right to make the first one in past perfect tense. But what if I make it in past simple? No difference, but simple difference about the time between the two actions. So it's better to make the first one in past perfect.
Mm.
Let's try again. She walked into the room and saw that it had been arranged. So arranging happened first. And then we walked. And then we saw. So the first one in past perfect tense. And of course here it's in passive voice. That's why as you studied before. So now we need to test your mind. What is the best tense here? Read an answer.
Began.
Let's find to make you confident. I mentioned some of which seeped through. And so, and here it tells you it's the same tense as we did. So it must be past simple. Where is the past? Past and the past. But this action happened second, not first. So no past perfect, so it's past simple. That's why. Understood?
Yes.
That is. So we'll keep the rest for your homework to answer. Now spotting the question type. Ah, this is something so easy we can answer it quickly. All of these some notes you can revise at home. Very easy ones. And now let's see some simple question from international test.
Okay.
Now we just like show you how do we answer. Underlined means no change. Don't change the underlined if the underlined is correct. Or change it to B, C, D, as you know. So when I look at the answers, I find the verbs. I must find the subject. So simply ask yourself who or what remains in effect today. But wait. Number one, we follow the rules. Find the phrase and delete it. So of, delete again. And of, delete, in, delete. I'm looking for the subject. And later you will know that is present participle phrase, so delete. So what remains? Some. Now your subject is some.
Mm.
Now ask yourself, is some plural or singular?
Single.
Or plural? We don't know. Some can be singular or plural, but how? It depends on what does it refer. Some of the acts. That means more than two. So it's a plural. But I can say some of my pizza is delicious. So I'm talking about some of my pizza, not talking about pizzas. So on one, so some of it singular, but here some plural. Now let's find the agreement. Your subject plural, so your verb must be plural. Present simple tense singular wrong. Has singular wrong. Letter C correct. Remaining wrong because must be some are remaining. That means the verb phrase wrong because it lacks a helping verb. Is remaining, has been remaining, was remaining. The verb phrase is mistaken, so wrong. That's why, my dear friend.
Mm.
Again, I'm looking for the subject because the answer is verbs. Simply delete the phrases and the clauses. Let's try. By delete, of delete, and then by delete. Look, of delete, in delete. I'm just looking. Add delete, and the adjective delete because my subject is noun. And then adjective delete. Now we have look and adverb know. Now ask yourself what or who provides the best look, the analysis, or look, because who or what provides look can be look. No, it's analysis. So analysis subject. Now ask yourself, is analysis singular or plural?
Single.
How did you know? We know because we studied. So when I find is singular, es plural, analysis or analysis. Remember later, inshallah, we'll discuss some exceptions in language that if you found us singular, if you found I, it's a plural, if you found um singular, if you found here a plural, just like some nouns in Latin Greek words, or some exceptions. But at least now I found a subject, so it's a singular. So are plural, have plural, and here plural, so all of them wrong. So it must be letter C. I can know it from the helping verb, not from the main verb. That's why. Let me answer number 3 to know how do you think. But the problem is the speed of answer. When I look at the answers, I found verbs. I found verbs. Now I must look for the sentence only. Can you give me some second until you answer this one? Want to help the assistant very quick. So now let's check it together. Remember, sometimes when we test you for the sentence only. So you must read this sentence only. How about that? You can read it if you don't know any words in this sentence. For example, he said these. These refers for. Perhaps you need it. So take care. But now let's check it. Encouraged by these possible savings, officials did what? So encourage here, past or present? Past
Past.
or present? Past.
Past.
So implemented must be the second action after encourage. We encourage you first, and then you implement it to put it into practice. So it cannot be past perfect because it's the first action. So C is wrong. All right. Now, past continuous. Past continuous means the action was happening in the past for a specific short time. But he didn't mention in that here that it was happening in short time in the past. So past continuous wrong. You have studied before that word refers to hypothetical situation We hypothesized, we guess it happened, but it didn't happen. Now ask yourself, is this action happened or the writer hypothesized? It's already happened. It said the investigation helped. He said they could reduce. You see, he said they were encouraged. So they put the actions already happened, not hypothetical or guessing or assuming. Now letter A is correct because it's a past simple tense. Past simple because encourage past simple. The time of help in past simple, reduce past simple, implement must be simple, and were past. So it must be past simple tense. That's why. Now it's your turn. Number 4. Try.
Okay.
Let me help you. Let me help. Hey, we have the conjunction. Oh, we have the conjunction, but wait. Most of the original homemade circuit boards. So look, most of the boards. So most here the subject plural. No longer function. So what is the tense present simple? He said here function as the replacement parts have become impossible to find. So have come present simple. Now this action must be in present tense. So A past perfect wrong, past simple wrong. Could refers to the action. Could have the action. It can happen, but in the past. So it could have worked, but it didn't work. And already we need it to be present, not past for could. So letter B correct. So D, it's not best. That's one. Let me try another one. When I look here, I will find it quickly, but we have some common mistakes. Do we use there like that without position? No, we must say their home, their country. After there, we need noun, we need position. So this is wrong. And the same, whoa, common mistakes without reading, common mistakes. Now that there are or there is, now you must find the subject and the verb. So your sentence starts from here. So your subject and verb must be in this part only. Or follow rules. Find the phrases and delete. Hereby, delete. Now, what are there? Several additional health benefits. So your subject benefits. Benefits is singular or plural, I don't know. But he said several. So several means plural. And already I know benefits are plural. So it must be plural. So why is it? So it must be R. That's why. Deal. Now the last question for you. If you answered correct, he will go for fun. Try. Always ask yourself, who
Change.
did the action? So it's no change. That's why if you don't know people single plural, check who learn the plural. Because this is subject, this is action, and that action. So agreement here, it must be the same here. So it's a letter A. Now do you catch the point?
Yes.
We'll keep the rest for your homework, of course. All of that homework. And the next one, it's so easy about pronouns. I will leave it for you because it's so simple. Read the notes and then answer the question after. So you are responsible to answer to page number 41. Deal.
Okay.
Now, what have you done in the vocab books? For this book, which lesson you stopped on? Remember, every time we study 2 lessons because we need to revise them. So lesson from this book and the lesson from that book. Every session, at least 2 lessons because it's like 7 days you have. Remember, because next time I will test you, but I will test you in passages, not words like that. But
Mm.
are you okay? Are you okay?
Yes.
Right. So be careful to study them because later I will test you for the context. We'll open passages of reading and then test you for the vocab. But try to study in this way, as I told you, until we finish all the Latin roots. Like that tranquility, it has quiet. Here, UII, it refers to quiet. So tranquility is like to keep quiet or to make something calm. So if you check for the meaning here, we'll find it look calm, serenity, free from bother, undisturbed. Like some chemicals can tranquilize the fierce animals, as you know. So I like it to study this way. So very important. If you didn't revise any lesson, revise it too much. And here is the same in this book. Here, my dear.
Yes. Okay.
That's why. And now, do you have any trouble at home?
No.
Any problems?
No.
Keep in touch if you have any trouble and take a small break and eat out all the books. Deal.
Deal.
And now it's time for fun. Go and have it. Go now, now.